Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good afternoon, everyone. Page number 333. So we have been learning 10 recollections. So last week we talked about 6 recollections. So recollection of triple genes, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and recollection of morality, Sila, and recollection of generosity, Chaga, and recollection of Deva, the quality of Deva. So we just finished 6. So today we will study another recollection. It's called recollection of death. Recollection of death, or mindfulness of death, is especially intended to evoke a sense of urgency, sense of spiritual urgency. Samvega. Actually, Samvega, the word Samvega is very popular in commentary literatures. Its sense of urgency is urgent. It's urgent. It's urgent. And one of the Sutta, the Buddha said that if your head caught fire, you have to put out. So urgent that if you cannot put out, the whole body will burn down. That is called Samvega. So the aim of recollection of death is to evoke a sense of urgency. It is conducive to mindfulness in our activities. So we have mindfulness in our activities if we practice recollection of death. Recollection of death is more suitable for a person or intellectual disposition. Actually, we have learned 6 types of people with a different disposition, characters. So this is a suitable for intellectual disposition. The person who has a intellectual disposition, because not easy to recollect the nature of death. It needs a lot of intellect or understanding. If you talk about recollection of death, most people will not like it. Most people will not like it because it's not easy. It is only for intellectual people. It's suited for the intellectual people. So actually I will quote one sutta to talk about this. Abhena Pachavakitapa Thana Sutta, a very long one. So actually Abhena means all the time. Pachavakitapa means to recollect. Thana means something. So we have to recollect all the time. Actually, in that sutta, the Buddha talk about five things. So it is mentioned in Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 5, sutta number 57. So there are 5 things that we should recollect. So according to this sutta, the Buddha said, Bhikkhu, a woman or a man, a householder or one gone forth. So that means one gone forth means minds or nuns, renunciants, should often reflect this. Anyone that means regardless, layman or a monk or a nun, should often a nun reflect this, have to reflect. I am subject to death. I am not exempt from death. So we have to recollect very often. I am subject to old age. I will grow old. I'm not exempt on old age. When you're young, you have to recollect. When you grow old, you have to recollect this one. I am subject to death. Next one, I am subject to illness. I am subject to illness. When I come back Myanmar, then I got flu, subject to illness. Just recovered this morning. So actually, for anyone, young or old, I am subject to illness. No, subject to illness. So I am subject to death. This one of them. Another one is I must be parted or separated from everyone or everything, so which is dear and agreeable to me. I have to be separated one way or another. The Buddha said that. And the last one is we have to recollect very often, I am the owner of my karma. Whatever karma I do, that's my own. If I do good, I'm owner of that good deed. If I something bad, I'm owner of that bad deed. 5 things. Actually, this sort is very famous. So we have to actually in our country, especially in our country, we always chant this order to recollect. Actually, in the meditation retreat, we have a 10 recollection for monks and nuns. So these are 5. Another 5 are added. So later, I think we will study how to sing. Maybe when we are talking about monks, we'll study again. So here we are talking about recollection of death. Also, we can practice recollection of old age. Even though we have 40 meditation method, and also it can be more than that. If we add old age as a meditation object, right? It can be 41. But illness or sickness, if we add as a one meditation object, it can be 42. Then we have to depart or separate from someone or something which are dear and agreeable to us. So this can be another meditation object. So actually, traditionally, we have a 40 meditation method. So it's a well-known 40 meditation. It can be more than that, right? It can be more than that. But then, the Buddha recommends monks and nuns to recollect the nature of death in many places. This is the method. I am subject to death. I am not exempt from death. During their lives, beings are intoxicated with the life. We forget about death because we live as if we are not going to die. We live as if we live forever. That's human nature, right? Human nature. Not to forget the nature of life, we have to recollect the nature of death. So during the life, beings are intoxicated with the life. And when they are intoxicated with the life, they engage in misconduct, dukkha, by body, by speech, and by mind. But when one often reflects upon this scene, these things, the intoxication with the life, intoxication or attachment to life, is either completely abandoned or diminished. Actually, it's very logical. For that reason, Buddhism is accused of being pessimistic religions by especially Westerners. No, not so realistic. The nature of death will come, one way or another. So if we recollect, the Buddha said that when we recollect the nature of death, the intoxication with the life, or attachment to life, or clinging to life, is either completely abandoned or diminished. Very logical, very logical. So we are afraid to die because we are clinging to life. That's a logical thinking. If you reflect very often, one day I will die, I'm subject to die. Then attachment, understanding is there, right? If you understand, there's no clinging. If there's no clinging, no fear at all. No suffering at all. Right? No suffering at all. Then the Buddha said that it is for the sake of this benefit that a woman or a man, a householder or one gunfold, so that me, ascetics, or monks or nuns, should often reflect this. I am subject to death. I am not exempt from death. The same thing. So we can reflect the nature of old age, sickness, and separation from departed one or beloved one or beloved things, and also ownership for karma. This noble disciple reflects this. I'm not the only one who is subject to death, not exempt from death. I'm not only one. All beings that come and go, that passes away and undergo rebirth, are also subject to death. None are exempt from death. Everyone, everyone. Not only our death, we can also recollect the nature of death by anyone. My mother, my father, my son, my daughter are subject to death. They are not exempt from death. So if we recollect, so we understanding naturally came in. If we have an understanding, acceptance will come in. Acceptance. If our beloved one died, we can accept it, because this is a natural process. It needs a lot of practice. For that reason, it's called anosati, recollect. So the Buddha used apena often, very often. So I think it's good for those who have a fear to die, should recollect, should practice recollection of death. all beings that come and go are also subject to death. None are exempt from death. As he often reflects on this scene, the path is generated. The path here, the path is generated. We talk about Magga. The path means Magga. The path to Nibbana. He pursues this path and develops it and cultivates it. So if you develop recollection of path, also recollection of death, the path will be generated. If you go on the path, on that path, you will attain Nibbana, peace, peace. As he does so, the factors are entirely abandoned. Factors or bind, something that bind between two people. The factors are entirely abandoned. The underlying tendencies are uprooted. Actually, in our heart, a lot of underlying tendency. So if we reflect recollection of death, the nature of death, those underlying tendencies in our mind will be uprooted. So that is recollection of death, recollection of death. Question? And then, this is according to the suttas. As far as recollection of death is concerned, this sutta is very clear. So you don't need to follow commentary explanation, just follow this sutta. You can use any language, not only Pali or English, any language. So as far as you can recollect the nature of death, that's it. Any language. But of course, actually, Visuddhimagga mentioned comprehensively. Actually, I will not mention what the Visuddhimagga said here. In Sutta study class, I will talk about it in detail, but here I think no time. Only assess concentration. Recollection of death is a Vipassana type of meditation because the meditator contemplates the nature of nature while meditating on it. Actually, it's not a real Vipassana. But if you recollect, it became like a Vipassana. You recollect the nature of nature. Many sutta mention that the recollection of death can generate attainment of Nibbana. One of the sutta in mindfulness of death in the Gotra Nikaya, the Buddha said that bhikkhus, mindfulness of death. Here, the Buddha used the word mindfulness, maranasati. Recollection of death is marananusati, the same thing. Here, the Buddha used maranasati. Bhikkhus, mindfulness of death, when developed and cultivated, is of great fruit and benefit, culminating in the deathless. So here, deathless means Nibbana. Having the deathless as is consummation, right? Consummation. So I think if you look at this sutta, mindfulness, recollection of death is not a samatha. It's Vipassana type of meditation. The reason is you recollect the nature of nature, impermanence. For that reason, it will not produce any jhana. It will not produce any jhana. In terms of serenity, it yields only excess concentration. Upachara samadhi, according to Visuddhimagga, it's quite natural. It will not bring forth any jhana. It produces only excess concentration. Upachara samadhi. Visuddhimagga gave two reasons for that. The first reason is meditation of death, mindfulness of death is intrinsic nature. Intrinsic nature. It is natural process. Intrinsic nature. Another one is recollection of death arouses a sense of urgency. A sense of urgency. A spiritual shock. Spiritual shock. It's not a fear. It's not like a fear. Actually, 2 weeks ago we discussed about this, right? Somebody asked, is it fear? No, it's not a fear. Fear comes out of hatred. But here, spiritual urgency is spiritual shock. It comes out of understanding. Look at the story of Prince Siddhartha. When he saw 4 sights, right? Shock in his mind. Oh, the nature of death, the nature of old age, sickness, and also ascetics, spiritual shock. Samvega. Because of that, it isn't stable enough to attain jhana. So when we practice recollection of death, our mindfulness is not stable enough to attain jhana, because our mind is contemplating the nature of impermanence, the nature of nature. And the nature of death is intrinsic nature. And second, it arouses a sense of urgency in our mind. Spiritual shock. It's somewhat shock. So that means not stable. The jhana, so stable that it looks like, great pillar. So that means recollection of death produces only excess concentration. It will not produce any jhana. Okay, so I hope understand recollection of death. It's good to practice. Question? No. Okay. Next one. Body-related mindfulness. Mindfulness which is related to body. Kagadasati. The main purpose of body-related mindfulness is look at page number 336. Mindfulness occupying with the body. Mindfulness occupying with the body. Actually, I translated the body-related mindfulness. Main purpose of body-related mindfulness is to detach from one's own body and the body of others. We have a lot of attachment to our body and also the body of other people. So the purpose of this meditation is to detach from those attachments. One can meditate this meditation in 2 ways, either by reciting 32 part of the body. So we have a 32 part of the body. So when we go to wake, we chant Maranasati. So these 32 parts of the body are included in our chanting. Number one, reciting 32 parts of the body. Or number two, contemplating these 32 parts of the body. Two ways. You can recite, or either you can recite or contemplate 32 body. One can use any language to meditate on them. You can use any language. As long as you can visualize using those language, okay. Any language you can use. Previous week, one of students gave a book to me. So that mentioned 32 parts of the body. Myanmar language, Chinese, English, 3 languages, I think. No? Any language that you can practice. So actually our called Satipatthana Sutta. Satipatthana Sutta. So in that sutta, the Buddha said that just as though there were, just as though there were a bag with an opening at both ends, full of many sorts of grain, such as hay rice, red rice, beans, peas, millet, and white rice. And a man with a good eyes, were to open it and reviews it. So they are a bag full of different type of grains. A man with a good eye will open it and review this. This is hay rice. This is a rice, and this is a red rice. These are beans, these are beans, and these are peas. This is a millet, and this is white rice. A man with a good eye can differentiate, differentiate. So too, the Buddha gave a very beautiful simile, So too, a bhikkhu reviews this same body, apt from the sole of the feet and down from the top of, this same body, apt from the sole of the body, from the sole of the feet and down from the top of the hair. Bounded with the skin, bounded with the skin. I say, full of many kinds of impurity. Many kinds of impurity, that's because our body is bounded with the skin. If we remove our skin, what will you see? Many kinds of impurities in our body. In this body, there are kesa, head hairs, loma, body hair, nakha, nails, danda, teeth, tacho, skin. If we, now the Buddha is analyzing our body into 32 parts, 32 parts. If you analyze, when we analyze, just like with the man who has a good eye can differentiate different kinds of grains. This is a white rice, this is a red rice, this is a bean, etc. Just like that. So in this body, there are head hair, body hairs, nails, teeth, skin. So when you actually here I divided into six group because if you read 32 part, it will be very messy. It will be very messy. For that reason, it is categorized into 6 groups according to Visuddhimagga. According to Visuddhimagga. Visuddhimagga said that we can divide these 32 into 6 groups. And the first group consists of 5. Head hairs, body hairs, nails, teeth and skin. So when you recite head hairs, you visualize your head hair. When you recite the word nails, you visualize in your mind nails. When you recite the word teeth, you visualize your teeth. And you go from backward and direct and reverse. Yeah, you're right. Anuloma, patiloma. So direct means head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin. Reverse order means skin, nails, body hair, head hair. It needs a lot of mindfulness, a lot of concentrations. If you are not mindful, you cannot recite, you cannot recollect. It needs a lot of concentrations. So in Sri Lanka, in ancient Sri Lanka, 2 educated men who can recite Tipitaka, the whole Tipitaka, and approach a meditation master who is well-known meditation master. So they want to meditate. The meditation master gave body-related meditation. This meditation. Even though they can recite, they can memorize, they can learn by heart Tipitaka, they have to follow instructions. They have to recite 32 parts of the body, direct aura and reverse aura. So the main reason is when we recite a particular part of the body, we have to visualize. If we do so, the purpose is to see the nature of impurity in our body. Normally we see the body as a whole. Then you have an attachment to your body, attachment to the body of the being. If you can analyze the body into 32 parts, then you will see as they really are. The nature of impurity, impure nature. Teeth. Look, talk about teeth. When you see a passing, beautiful teeth. So when that teeth drop into your eating bowl, into your plate, how will you feel? Very disgusting, disgusting. Beautiful hair. If that hair drop on your plate, what will happen? No, not beautiful anymore. Impurity, impurity. So if we analyze one by one, that this body became impure, we call it asubha. And second one is flesh, sinews, bones, bone marrow, kidneys. So you have to visualize, one by one, direct aura and reverse aura. And third group, heart, liver, diaphragm, phlegm, and lungs. So you have to visualize, If you cannot visualize, you can look at the book. Maybe you can write 32 parts of the body. Then it will show in the internet. If you Google it. Then the fourth one, intestines, mesentery, stomach, excrement, brain. In our body there's excrement, brain. In our body there is, the Buddha word, there is bile, flame, pus, blood, sweat, fat. Everything is impure, impure. Tears. In our body there is tears, grease, spit, snot, oil of the joints, and urine. So these are 32 parts of the body. 32 parts of the body. So actually, the aim of this meditation method is to detach from our body. Detachment, to our body and the body of other people. For that reason, it is suitable for those who have a lustful nature. Lustful nature. So this is a meditation method. So according to Visuddhimagga gives following instructions. Actually, the Pali Canon just mentioned briefly, The Visuddhimagga, and especially Visuddhimagga, gave a detailed explanation on that, how to practice. Then, while reciting verbally, we recite verbally, the meditator should contemplate the 32 parts of the body one after another with a strong and stable concentration. As you all know that to recite 32 parts of the body, it needs a lot of concentration and mindfulness. If your mind is not concentrated, not mindful, you cannot memorize. Even you cannot memorize. So according to Visuddhimagga, those two learned monks in ancient Sri Lanka, they recite 32 parts of the body for 4 months. Actually, I forgot the month. 4 months. They became Sotapanna. They recite, they practice 32 parts of the body, they become Sotapanna. They recite 4 months, many months. While reciting verbally, so we have to use our strong and stable concentrations. Number 2, recitation should be neither too fast nor too slow. Should be natural. Each part of the body should be visualized in the mind's eye clearly. As I earlier said that when you recite the word teeth, visualize your teeth. When you are reciting excrement, just visualize excrement. Sweat, just visualize sweat, etc. One should stay alert and mindful and not allow the mind to be disturbed by external objects. You must be very mindful and do not allow the mind to be disturbed by external objects. Distraction will weaken the objects of meditation. Distraction, if you're thinking other things, then the mindfulness will be weakened. Do not stop at just the name, the name or concept. So do not stop teeth. Teeth is the name, concept. But you have to visualize in your mind natural teeth. And develop the thought of their undesirability and impurity. So when you visualize teeth, so that means impure, undesirable. So when you think about, if you stick to the name, it can arouse clinging or aversion in the mind. Suppose when you are reciting Yurei, don't just stop at the name. The name is concept. Just see the intrinsic nature. Intrinsic nature means Yurei, you know. So if you just focus on the name, you know, or urine or excrement, it will produce aversion, hatred, or dislike. No, don't just stop at the name. Develop the thought of their undesirability and impurity. And the repetition of the word is only useful until they became manifest in the mind. So when your concentration is deeper, you don't need to recite. You don't need to use the name. Then you will contemplate with your mind. You can contemplate 32 parts of the body. Even names will be disappear if the mindfulness and concentrations are deeper.
Being rotten, decay until the teeth turn black. This is what you mean by undesirability and impurity, or not?
It doesn't mean if you contemplate teeth separately, you will see, you know, it is disgusting, impure. And you look at with the mirror. Do not look at the whole face. If you just look at your teeth, very disgusting, not pure anymore. So actually, the purpose of this meditation is analyzing our body into 32 parts. So the reason is, when we look at our body, when we look at the body of other people, it creates clinging or attachment. So actually, the main purpose of this meditation is to analyze our body, you know, into different part. It's the same thing. Actually, earlier I talked about this one. Normally, the Buddha analyzed our mind and body into two parts: mind and body. Mind and body are totally different. Then, for those who are very intelligent, they understand right away. And the Buddha analyzed this mind and body into 5 aggregate. Those who are intelligent, they understand. So if we analyze our body and mind into 5 aggregate, you will not see the body as a whole. No? It is a combination of aggregate. Just like that, the Buddha analyzed this body and mind into 3 senses. Sense base. External and internal base. And also the Buddha also analyzed 80 elements. But for those who has a less intelligent, the Buddha showed this one. You know. According to commentary, actually it's not a 100% right. Commentary just mentioned that those who has a less intelligent, the Buddha analyzed this body into 32 parts. More part. So in this way, so the person who practice this type of meditation will not see the body as a whole. No? Then he will see as they really are. So the body is combination of 32 parts. So they are not beautiful. They are impure. So in this way, we have understanding the real nature of the body. For that reason, this one also not easy to practice. Question, okay.
no fear when I see a corpse, because I've seen corpses, I've touched corpses, so I have no fear.
Yeah.
When I contemplate my own body parts, sometimes I sit down and I meditate and I try to see my body part, or even as I go about my daily life, I can think about these things. I actually can have dislike in my mind. Dislike because, because of you, I have to die, and because of you, I have to sicken. So I wonder, what is it that I'm not doing correct? Because instead of having detachment, I have dosa, dislike. But yet I know, intellectually only, I have to admit, that, there are 32 body parts, and they all have their own nature, they all arise in all of it, and I accept that. But yet when I visualize the organ, I can have dosa, I have dislike, but yet I have no fear of seeing corpses, and I can accept my own death. I think, So what is it that I'm doing wrong when I visualize these body parts? I have dosa.
If you have a dosa, it is unwholesome root. Actually, it's not a good, it's a wrong method. Wrong method. Of course, because of my body, I have a sickness, many problems, but there's no dosa. Just understanding. Also, I am subject to old age. You don't have any dosa regarding with old age. Just understanding. I'm subject to death. You don't have any hatred or dosa toward the nature of death. Just understanding. For that reason, it's called samvega, sense of spiritual urgency or spiritual shock.
For me, I think the fundamental issue is still the clinging. First, the second rule truth.
Yeah.
Everything, that is unwholesome, as I can see, goes back to this. The fundamental truth.
You're right.
Yeah, I think, that I may be able to accept this, accept that, with two body parts and all that. But I have an underlying tendency of yoga still there.
You're right. So that is because the Buddha says the origin of suffering. The origin of suffering. Everything, like and dislike, the origin of suffering. So we see everything as they really are. There's no like and dislike. Even eating food, no like and dislike. It is no wrong for you to have a like or dislike when you are eating your own food. But when you want to attain Nibbana, no like and dislike. Just eat. Just eat it for survival. Difficult. Yeah. Sorry?
It can be quite maybe because I live in Kammatthana.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Actually, this is a advanced level, no? Meditation on the 32 part of the body may lead to the first jhana. This one will lead to the first jhana. This meditation method requires exercise of thought or vitakka. Therefore, they are incapable of producing higher jhana, which are free from vitakka. Because we are using our thinking, our thought. This is skin, this is teeth, This is body hair, head hair, etc. So we're using Vitaka. As long as you are using Vitaka, you cannot attain second jhana, let alone higher jhana. So, according to Visuddhimagga, it brings forth only the first jhana. The first jhana. So we have a time recollection. So number 9, mindfulness of breathing. This is the most famous meditation method, Anapana. It is attentiveness. Page number 336. Page number 336. It is attentiveness to the touch sensation of the in-breath and out-breath. Touch sensation or in-breath and out-breath. In the vicinity of the nostril or upper lip, 2 places. Vicinity of the nostril or upper lip. Wherever the air is fat striking, as when breathing in and breathing out. Actually, this is a Bhikkhu Bori writing from Compendium in Abhidhamma. So, in Satipatthana Sutta, mindfulness of breathing is under mindfulness of the body. Regarding with the mindfulness of breathing, and the Buddha said that, and how means does a man dwell contemplating the body in the body? So actually, mindfulness of breathing is under mindfulness of the body, Kagata Sati, Kayano Sati, Kano Sati. Here, a monk going to the forest, to the foot of a tree, or to a quiet place. That means any place which is quiet. Sit down and having fold his legs crosswise. So that means you have to cross your leg. The reason is you control your body. Straightening his body, have to straighten his body, and establish mindfulness in front of him. So actually, establish mindfulness in front of him. The commentary mentions these lines this way. So to observe in-breath and out-breath, we have to establish mindfulness at the tip of the nose or at the center of upper lip. The center of upper lip. So that means establish mindfulness in front of you. So in Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha mentions this one, just mindful, he breathes in. Mindful, he breathes out. So when we are breathing in, be mindful. And when you are breathing out, be mindful. Breathing in long, he understands, I am breathing long. And breathing out long, he understands, I am breathing out long. Breathing in short, he understands, I am breathing short. Or breathing out short, he understands, I am breathing out short. Very simple. No? Just observe. Just be mindful. Just observe what is it. So when you're breathing in, the first step, the first step when you start to practice, when you're breathing in, just mindful, breathing in. When you're breathing out, just mindful, you're breathing out. That's all. Then later your mindfulness established, concentration a little bit stable. Then you can go to another step. Breathing in long, you understand you're breathing in long. That's all. Breathing out long, just understand, just be mindful, just observe, and just know, breathing out loud. So one of the Christian student very often approach me, and he talk about his meditation experience. He used the word noting. That is not wrong. He take note, He take note. Breathing in as a breathing in, breathing out as a breathing out. Simple way, simple language. He take note. And breathing out loud as a breathing out loud. Breathing in short, and he understand and take note. I'm breathing in short. Then next step, he trained us. I will breathing, experiencing the whole body. I will breathing in experiencing the whole body. He trained that. I will breathing out, I'm breathing in, experiencing the whole body. He trained us. I will breathing in, experiencing the whole body. Here, the whole body means the whole air, So now you're breathing, air. So the whole body means here, the body means not the physical body, the body of air. Now concentration is deeper, very deep. You understand the whole body of air. And the whole body of air come in and go out, getting deeper. Next one, he trained us. I will breathe in, tranquilizing bodily formation. He trained us. I will breathe out, tranquilizing bodily formation. Here, bodily formation means air. So when your concentration is getting deeper and deeper, you are breathing, tranquilized and quiet. Gradually, it will disappear. For that reason, some people afraid. Am I breathing like this? Then they try to breathing in and breathing out hard. Because this is a deeper level of concentration. So you are breathing, getting tranquilized and quiet. For that reason, for those who attain the fourth jhana, no breathing at all. So this is is a deeper level of concentration. So it goes like this, step by step. First, if you are breathing in, just know breathing in. If you are breathing out, just know you're breathing out. That's all. Then later, next step, long or short. The next one, experiencing the whole entire breathing, entire air, entire breathing. And next level, tranquilizing bodily formation. Bodily formation here means air formation, tranquilizing. Then, finally, no more. This is the mindfulness of the breathing. He dwells contemplating in the body means breathing. Its nature arising. Breathing arises, and nature vanishing. Air vanish. And the nature of both arising and vanishing, both. Must be very clear. But here it became Vipassana, became Vipassana. arising and vanishing. Or else mindfulness that there is a body. So here, a body here means there is breathing. There is a breathing in or breathing out. It's simply established in him to the extent necessary for bare knowledge and repeated mindfulness. Actually, the last line is very important for meditation. Mindfulness, developing mindfulness meditation. So when you are practicing breathing meditation, so you just understand that there is breathing. There is breathing. There's no you. No, there's no you. Just breathing. Simply establish in him to you to the extent necessary for the bare knowledge. Just bare knowledge. Just know it. Just know it. And also repeated mindfulness. Just be mindful there is breathing. There is breathing. And also when you practice 32 part of the body, just know that there is teeth. Bare knowledge, bare knowledge. Don't think about this teeth is ugly, this teeth is beautiful. No. Just bare knowledge about teeth or skin or hair, etc. And repeated mindfulness. Breathing in as you breathe in, breathing out as you breathe out. If the breathing, entire breathing, or tranquilized breathing, so there is a body, there is a breathing, that's all. Bare knowledge. Yawa deva jnana mattai. Bare knowledge. Just know it. Just noting. That's meditation. And he dwells independent. Not clinging to anything in the world. Not clinging to anything. Just bare knowledge. There is breathing. That's all. There's no clinging. Wow. How to say? Normally, when you're afraid, suppose if you do not know in breath and out breath, then you were afraid. You were afraid. Then, so that means your mind is not independent. The mind is not independent. Here, no clinging to anything in the world. Just bare knowledge. There is breathing. That is how a man dwells contemplating the body and the body. So actually in the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha talk about 32 part of the body as well, and also four elements and 10 type of furnace or asubha bhavana. So when you think about 32 part of the body, just bare knowledge. There is in my body, there is teeth, that's all. There is skin, that's all. Just know, just bare knowledge. So when you have such type of mindfulness, your mind is independent. There's no clinging to anything. No clinging to anything. Just bare knowledge. So your mind is liberated. Independent. Question? Sorry? Time and space. Yes. Can you explain further? A little bit further?
When you're more stable.
Sorry?
When your mind is very stable.
Yeah.
Very to a stage whereby the time and space is very different.
space. I cannot explain this one. It's very like no more time, no more space, no more gap. I don't know.
Yeah, so actually when you are practicing meditation, when you have a deeper level, as you said, that time and space disappear. Okay, question.
Yeah, I think, is it something like awakening awareness? Because sometimes when we do, we know the awakening of awareness, and we know what is the moments. Is it something like awakening kind of stage, right?
Actually, mindfulness of breathing, according to Satipatthana Sutta, started from samatha. So when breathing in, you know that it's breathing in. And when breathing out, you know that it's breathing out. So in this level, you're developing mindfulness and concentration, samatha. And also, when you know that long breath and short breath, as they really are, there's also samatha, and also how to say, the experiencing the whole air, the whole breathing, and also tranquilizing. In that level, in the fourth step, samatha. The next step, if you know how they arise, how they disappear, is samatha. But of course, when you practice Vipassana, how they arise, how they disappear, then it will be awakened stage. It can be awakened stage. So normally, awaken or enlighten, we use those who practice Vipassana. So if you practice samatha, we do not use awaken. Only those who understand the nature of arising and passing away, the nature of conditioned phenomena, we call it awaken or enlighten. Okay. So actually, mindfulness of breathing is very popular, and also many explanations. So actually, in the Noble Eightfold Path, right mindfulness. So the Buddha explained four, mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of feeling, mindfulness of the mind, and mindfulness of the phenomena. Four, If you have a right mindfulness, you have a right understanding. Right understanding is explained with the four jhana. Then, if you have a right mindfulness and right understanding, and right awakening, or right understanding. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The last one, the recollection of peace. Upasamma no sati. Contemplation on the peaceful attribute of Nibbana. Actually, so we have a lot of quality of Nibbana, just like a dukkha nirodha, cessation of suffering. That is the attribute of Nibbana. And cessation of craving. And deathless. All these are attributes of Nibbana. So there are many attributes of the Nibbana. So actually, in Sutta study class, we talk about more than 50 attributes of Nibbana. Actually, for those, Visuddhimagga mentioned that this meditation method is for enlightened people, especially enlightened people, because they experience the bliss of Nibbana themselves. For those who read Theravada and Theravada, so we have the poems expressed by Arahants and nuns. So we honestly we can learn the attribute of Nibbana. They express the bliss of Nibbana from their point of view. And whenever Sariputta talk about the quality of Nibbana differently, and whenever Moggallana, he will talk about the bliss of Nibbana in different way. Many attributes of Nibbana. So actually Visuddhimagga mentioned that. So this meditation method is especially for enlightened people. Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Nagami, Arahant. For normal people, we can also practice recollection of peace. But we do not realize the bliss of Nibbana, but we can, visualize, we can think about it. We can, intellectually think about it. As we have a lot of clinging, a lot of attachment, then our mind is like a fire, If we attain Nibbana, those fire will be extinguished. So just like that, so we can recollect peaceful nature of Nibbana. So the quality of Nibbana. This is also one of the meditation method. Okay, I did this one. No need, huh? No need. Those who want to know, then go to Visuddhimagga. Visuddhimagga. Four unlimited ways of Abhidhamma. So this one, everybody know it. 4 Brahma Vihara. Loving kindness, compassion, altruistic joy, and equanimity, upekkha. So they are popularly known as sublime living, or 4 sublime state, Brahma Vihara. So because they are way of life, the way of life became sublime and noble if a person embrace those mental states. So if we have all these mental states, we become noble and sublime. They are also defined as a divine dwelling because so they are mental dwelling of the Brahma deities in the Brahma world. But in Abhidhamma, they are called Abhidhamma. They are used as Abhidhamma. It is, I think, it is very beautiful name. Very beautiful name, and also in according with suttas. So Abhidhamma means the unlimitable or the immeasurable, because they are to practice and to cultivate toward all living beings, not limiting to any group or any type. No limit. You have to develop all these 4 qualities toward any beings. No limit. For that reason, it's called Abhidhamma. But here, then in the 2nd chapter, under Chittasika, so we use Karuna, right? Karuna and Mudita. What we use? Only 2 Abhidhamma, right? Only 2 Abhidhamma. But here, 4 Abhidhamma. the ninth chapter is 4 Abhidhamma. Actually, we have 4 Abhidhamma. The Suttas and the Abhidhamma, 4 Abhidhamma. But in Chittasika, in 2nd chapter, Metta is under Adosa and Upekha is under Tatra Machadata. Actually, Pali Canon usually mention them as a form of meditation. So following are typical lines that mentioned in the Suttas. Actually, it should be Kalama Sutta, not Uposatha, Kalama Sutta. In Koranika chapter 3, Sutta number 65, not Uposatha. 10 Kalamas, that noble disciple. Actually, when you look at this Sutta, you understand how to develop 4 divine dwellings, or 4 elementables. 10 Kalamas, that noble disciple who is that divided on longing, Veja, divided on ewe, dosa, and confused, amoha, clearly comprehending, amoha or panya, ever mindful, so that means divide on moha. No loba, dosa, moha. Dwells pervading 1/4 within my 1/4, that means each directions. 1/4 within mind, imbued with loving kindness. People who are living in the east direction, not people, all sentient beings living in the east directions, may they be well and happy, loving kindness. With the mind imbued with compassion, those all sentient beings living in east directions, may they be free from physical and mental suffering, compassion. With the mind imbued with the altruistic joy. All living beings living in the east directions, may they sustain in their retain their wealth, their prosperity. May they retain their prosperity. So that is altruistic joy. May they be happy, altruistic joy. With a mind imbued with equanimity, all living beings living in the east directions. So they are owner of their own karma, imbued with equanimity. Actually, equanimity, you don't have any metta or compassion or altruistic joy. You just acknowledge they are owner of their own karma. No? A mind imbued with equanimity. So likewise, the 2/4, all living beings live in the south direction, west direction, and north direction, above and below. The 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. So the dress pervading 1/4 with the mind imbued with the loving kindness, compassion, altruistic joy, and equanimity. So that's above, below, across, and everywhere, not limiting any particular direction. My enemy live in the west directions. No limit. You hate a particular country, no limit, no? That's above, below, across, everywhere, and to all, as to himself, as to himself, as to you. He dwells pervading the entire world with a mind imbued with equanimity, imbued with loving kindness, compassion, or twisted joy, equanimity. So that four elementables are vast, vast, enormous, exalted, measureless, apamana. This is a mission in the Suttas. So for that reason, Abhidhamma take that word, apamana, no measure, no limit. Without enmity, there's no enmity in your mind. Without ill, there's no ill in your mind. So that is actually the way to radiate four elementables in the Suttas. So when you look at this Sutta, how to say, you can follow this Sutta, but commentary, especially with Visuddhimagga mention, the more, how to say, comprehensively. For that reason, I always give, how to say that, loving kindness meditations. Not only loving kindness meditations, actually 4 unlimited meditation for those who are sick. Normally, then I give 3 levels. The first one, the quality of tripajan, Itipiso Bhagawa, Sakado, Subdipano. So when they are ill, so I told them to recollect the quality of tripajan. Just recite. For those who are devotee of Mangala Vihara, I told them to recite the quality of tripajans, Itipiso Bhagawa. When they recite, they must know the meaning. This is the first one. The second one is to recollect, to radiate loving kindness. When I talk loving kindness, metta, it includes everything. Compassion, altruistic joy, equanimity. Normally I just give them simple, simple method. May I be well and happy. May I be free from physical and mental suffering. May I be well and happy. That's all. May, if you are living with your spouse, may my wife, may my husband, may my daughter or son be well and happy, radiating loving kindness. Because if we are seriously ill, our mind is not healthy, something happened, very angry, But if we radiate loving kindness, our mind became very settled, very, very peaceful, and also mutu in Pali. We are very kind, very kind, very gentle. So if we're very gentle, if we're very kind, the people who are living, around us also became gentle and very kind to us. Because if we are very, if we feel sick, seriously sick, we need care, by the family member. If we are angry, they don't want to approach, They don't want to take care of you. That is quite natural, They will do because they have a responsibility. They will not do because based on loving kindness and love. Then second method, to raise loving kindness. Very simple. Then start with you first, then family member, and neighbors, people living in the east direction, south direction, etc. Then the third method, meditation. If you feel sick, try to meditate. But sometimes, if we are very severe headache, cannot meditate. If a lot of pain, cannot meditate. Come back to second level, really loving kindness. If we have a lot of pain in our body, we cannot practice. Even we cannot really loving kindness. Come back to recollection of triple chains. That will be the last one, no? That will be the last one. So, if we are recollecting, triple chain, triple chain, very powerful, very powerful. Okay, so this is the way to radiate loving kind. 4 elementary ways according to the suttas. Different functions of 4 divine dwellings. Loving kindness is suitable for those who have much ill, hatred, anger, according to Visuddhimagga. According to Visuddhimagga. Actually, Visuddhimagga explain based on the suttas. Actually, I will not quote the suttas. As usual in the sutta class, I will mention, based on the suttas. But here, Visuddhimagga said that loving kindness is suitable for those who have much ill will, or hatred, or anger. So loving kindness is just like a mother who wants her child to grow up. The mother left the child to grow up. Compassion is suitable for those who have much cruelty. Some people have a lot of, they are cruel. They want to kill. They want to insult other people. They want to use unpleasant speeches. Very cruel. So compassion is just like a mother who wants her sick child to get well. Artistic joy is suitable for those who have much dislike, arity. When you see famous people, you don't like it. When you see rich people, you don't like it. Dislike. When you see people are happy, you don't like it. Then it's suitable for them. So artistic joy is just like a mother who wants her attached son to be prosperous. Very happy. The mother very happy to see her child success, famous, prosperous. Equanimity is suitable for those who are much less raga. Because when you have a attachment, when you have a metta or loving kindness, then it can lead to lust. When we have a compassion, it will lead to aversion. So like and dislike. So equanimity avoid like and dislike. He will do whatever he should do. Just like a mother who does not bother about her son who is already successful in his business. Actually, Visuddhimagga gave a very beautiful explanation regarding with the 4 divine dwellings. 4 divine dwellings. The mother left her child to be grown up. Metta. If the child is sick, compassion is in her mind. if the child is prosperous, successful, feel joy, feel happy. If the child is already successful, prosperous, no need to bother, equanimity.
Can equanimity also mean, to follow the example, let's say a mother has a son, and the son is not successful in his business. So the mother tried very hard to help the son to be successful. But the son doesn't want to listen and then keeps doing all the wrong things. Like bad life leading to
Yeah.
So equanimity could also mean, just like a mother who accepts the son who is not successful, it could also mean that way, right?
Yeah, you're right. This one is just an example. That actually the commentary mentions just an example. Actually, in this case, even though the mother try her best to help her son to be successful, the son does not listen, still fail in the exam. But have to practice equanimity. All beings are owner of their own karma.
Yes, which is actually I wanted to ask you this question, but
Yeah.
you already answered it. Because earlier on, in I think it's in Sutta.
Oh yeah. No, actually wrong citation. Kalama Sutta.
Okay.
Chapter 3, in Koran Nikaya, chapter 3, Surah number 65.
You printed out dwells pervading one quarter with a mind imbued with loving kindness, with a mind imbued with compassion, with a mind imbued with altruistic joy, and then finally with a mind imbued with equanimity. And then you explain further, you said equanimity means no metta, no compassion or altruistic joy, you just acknowledge that they are owners of their own karma. So, this point that I'm raising is actually a very practical point,
Yeah.
Exactly. So even if I practice loving even if I practice the recollection of the 4 divine dwellings and I send metta to my son, but then when I can also send metta, I send compassion, but I can also send equanimity. The equanimity will be may he I feel equanimous, but he has to be the owner of his own karma. And can I wish this, because I read it somewhere, maybe, and I thought it was a very good point, may my son or may he be able to take care of himself with ease.
Yeah, that is mudita.
Mudita.
Yeah, mudita.
Mudita is
May he
be able to take care of himself with ease.
Maybe that equanimity,
Yeah,
it should be equanimity.
Because he's like that, I cannot change him. I've done everything I possibly can.
Oh yeah.
So he has to be the owner of his own karma. Then I have to be equanimous, but I still wish him well. And I can wish that may he take care of himself with ease.
With ease,
That's the best that I can do for him.
Yeah.
I read it somewhere.
Yeah. Actually, mindfulness in plain English. Mindfulness in plain English, written by Gunaratana, no? Bande Henapona Gunaratana, 8 Gunaratana. So he used this. He write very beautifully regarding with the 4 4 divine dwellings, using the simile of the left for Imada. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Beautiful than this one. Actually, the way he writes is very gentle and very beautiful. I'm trying to read mindfulness in plain English. Okay, so let's talk about Visuddhimagga mission, how to develop. To develop mindfulness, loving kindness, one must start with the desire to practice it. That is beginning, You must have a desire to practice loving kindness. The second one, as a result of this practice, the hindrances of the mind must be suppressed. If you have a lot of ill will and anger, then you try to really loving kindness. So that means ill will is hindrance. Try to suppress. If you cannot suppress, it's not successful. The highest and final aim of this practice is to attain Anapana or jhana, especially jhana. This is the highest, the end, according to Visuddhimagga. The beginning, you must have desire to practice, and at the middle, as a result of this practice, the hindrances of the mind must be suppressed. And the high aim of this practice to attain jhana. Even if you do not take any jhana, it's okay, Your mind is very peaceful. How to develop 4 divine dwellings according to Visuddhimagga. Generally, Pali Canon does not mention any specific distinction of beings to develop 4 divine dwellings. They just mention all sentient beings. Pali Canon just mention all sentient beings. But Patisambhidamagga and Visuddhimagga and the commentaries provide detailed explanation of the method to put into practice. Patisambhidamagga is said to prepare by Venerable Sariputta. And Visuddhimagga trying to quote Patisambhidamagga very often, using Patisambhidamagga. So according to Visuddhimagga, first, one must develop loving kindness, delimiting the sentient beings. Delimiting sentient beings who are living in a particular place. So that means all devotees in Mangala Vihara, all devotees from this room, delimiting a place. All the people in this house, delimiting. May all beings in this place be free from enmity and danger, etc. If the mind is malleable and weedy with respect to that particular place, you can really loving kindness all the devotees from this temple in this house. If you know that your mind is malleable and weedy, and you can delimit 2 places or 3 places. May all people from this temple, may all people from my house, etc. Then after that, one must delimit 1 street. May all sentient beings living in Jalan like this, 1 street, and half of the village. May all sentient beings living in etc. District and the kingdom. The kingdom means may all living beings living in Singapore. one direction, east direction, west direction, etc. So up to one planet, Chakavala, and even beyond that, may all living beings living in this planet, may all sentient beings live in universe, etc. No? So this is the way to practice loving kindness. You can use any language. For me, I prefer my language because I can appreciate. I can appreciate. If you can appreciate English language, you can use English language. Chinese language. As long as it develops mindfulness and loving kindness, compassion, etc. But here, we are not sending, we are not sending our love and compassion. We develop and cultivate loving kindness, compassion, etc. Normally, we always use sending. It's metaphorically we use, Metaphorically we use. Actually, we radiate or cultivate or develop. We call it bhavana, right? The Buddha used bhavana to develop, to cultivate. We are not sending, It's metaphorically we are using. Then regarding with the compassion or twisted joint equanimity, the same thing. So you can practice the same thing, But normally we have one song, sing by Malaysian singer Omi. Yeah, Medan Chan, she sings very beautifully, So actually it's metta chanting, right? Even though they use metta chanting, when you read carefully, compassion or twisted joint equanimity also. For that reason, we can say that metta covers everything. And actually, metta is explained, the meaning of metta, loving kindness, is explained with the three terms. Karuna, mudita, upekkha. That is definition of, actually I will say that definition of metta or loving kindness is explained with the three words. Karuna, mudita, and equanimity. Actually, it's a very beautiful way. That is actually my interpretation based on Visuddhimagga. Visuddhimagga also, it didn't say any, how to say directly, but I understand in such a way. That's definition of metta. Question? No question, huh? Okay, so time is up. So let's continue next week.
Dhamma mimam saranatamu
chate nama apalamahu chatusu susisu purisayugesu atacha bogana dhammadasate Sankami mansaranatamu bemi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, thank you everyone. Let me sit. Let me sit.